There comes a moment in every man's life when he must decide, not wish, not hope, but decide whether he will be master of his emotions or slave to his circumstances. Let me tell you this truth. Greatness is not born in comfort. It is forged in chaos and chosen in the mind. You must act as if nothing affects you, not because you're unaware of the storm, but because you've already claimed dominion over it. The world may try to provoke you. Circumstances will test your resolve, but you are not here to react. You are here to command. And the man who acts as if nothing affects him is not delusional. He is decisive. He is the man who has trained his mind, conditioned his spirit, and built within himself a fortress that no outside force can penetrate. This mindset is not arrogance, it is authority. And it begins with a choice. Today I will give you 5 unshakable principles that will help you build that choice into a way of life. Study them, apply them, and you will walk through fire without the smell of smoke. There is a power within you, a power that once mastered will place you above the noise, above the chaos, above the sway of temporary feelings and fleeting opinions. That power is inner command, and until you possess it, until you develop it, until you become its living expression, you will remain vulnerable to every storm that passes, every whisper of doubt, every turn of circumstance. You must understand this. The man who does not rule himself is ruled by the world. He is a puppet pulled by the strings of emotion, manipulated by circumstance, and shackled by the tyranny of reaction. But the man who has learned to command his own inner world walks through fire and remains untouched. He moves through trials and remains unmoved. He is not cold, he is controlled. He is not numb, he is disciplined. His strength is not in what he avoids, but in what he overcomes within himself. There was once a young man who dreamed of success. He had vision, he had talent, and he had drive. But every time someone criticized him, he shrank back. Every time a door closed, he doubted his worth. Every time a friend left or a plan failed, he fell into despair. His emotions, unguarded, ran wild like unbroken horses. And so, despite all his potential, he wandered through life reacting instead of rising, not because he wasn't capable, but because he never claimed dominion over his own spirit. You must not be that man. You must train your mind the way a warrior trains his sword. You must master your emotions the way a general commands his army. For your thoughts are soldiers. Either they obey you or they betray you. Your emotions are tools. Either they serve your purpose or they sabotage your progress. The mind left untrained is a battlefield, but the mind mastered is a kingdom. A kingdom over which you rule with courage, with clarity, with conviction. Every great man who has ever changed the world first learned to govern himself. Before he built empires, he built endurance. Before he influenced others, he influenced his own inner state. You must do the same when adversity strikes, and it will. You must not flinch. When offense comes, and it will, you must not be moved. When fear knocks, and it always does, you must not open the door. You must stand firm. Not because you are unaware of the storm, but because you have prepared your inner fortress long before the storm ever came. To act as if nothing affects you is not to deny emotion, it is to direct it. It is to say, I see the storm, but I am not the storm. I feel the pain, but I am not controlled by the pain. I hear the doubt, but I do not answer to doubt. You do not become less human by doing this, you become more powerful. Think of a mountain. Winds howl, lightning crashes, rains fall, but the mountain remains. It does not rage, it does not panic, it does not shift with every passing season. It is grounded, it is present, it is immovable. That mountain must become your mind. How do you begin? You begin by noticing your reactions. You become the observer of your own mind. You train yourself to pause before you speak, to breathe before you act, to choose your response like a master craftsman chooses his tool. You practice stillness, not as weakness, but as strategy. You meditate not to escape, but to engage your power. You rehearse clarity until clarity becomes your instinct. And you repeat this daily, hourly, moment by moment, until it is no longer something you do, but something you are. Until your inner command becomes your natural state, until your first instinct is not panic but poise, not reaction but reason, not fear but faith. Let me speak plainly. The man who cannot control his own mind will never control his destiny. He may rise for a season, he may impress for a time, but when pressure comes, and pressure always comes, he will crumble. But the man who acts as if nothing affects him because he has trained his spirit to obey his mission will stand when others fall. He will press on when others give up. He will build and not break. He will lead and not follow. This is not about arrogance. It is not about pretending. It is about possession, possessing your mind, possessing your thoughts, possessing your purpose so completely that nothing outside of you can take it from you. So I say to you now, decide. Decide that you will no longer be ruled by passing moods. Decide that your spirit is stronger than your circumstance. Decide that your mission is too important to be derailed by doubt, by drama, or by delay. Act as if nothing affects you because you have already chosen what affects you. And the only thing that affects you now is your decision to win. You are not here to survive, you are here to conquer. And your first conquest must be your own mind. Now rise, take command, and walk forward, not with noise, but with knowing. Not with force, but with focus. For the world bends to the will of the man who rules himself. Let that man be you. There is no man more dangerous to mediocrity than the one who knows exactly what he wants, not what he hopes for, not what he wishes might come true someday, but what he has burned into his heart like a fire that refuses to go out. Until you decide what you are here to do, the world will decide for you. And the world does not reward indecision. It does not pay salaries in wishes. It does not hand crowns to those who hesitate. It reserves its best, its glory, its wealth, its freedom for the man who has declared his purpose with boldness and will stop at nothing to bring it to pass. You must fix your mind on a definite purpose, not a vague ambition, not a blurry intention, but a clear, specific, immovable aim, so sharp, so focused that it cuts through every excuse and outlasts every storm. The man without a purpose is like a ship without a compass. He drifts, he wanders, he chases opportunities, but never captures success. He changes direction with every wave of emotion, every whisper of doubt, every gust of resistance. And in the end, he lands nowhere because he set sail for nothing. But the man who holds a definite purpose is like steel driven into the earth. He does not flinch. He does not flounder. He may adjust his methods, but never his mission. He is not distracted by the noise of others because his inner voice is louder. He is not moved by delay because his destination is already settled in his soul. I have seen men of average talent build empires, not because they had more education, not because they had more connections, but because they had more clarity. They knew what they wanted, and they went after it with everything they had. I have seen gifted men fail not because they lacked ability, but because they lacked direction. The mind, like a magnifying glass, only becomes powerful when focused. Scatter your thoughts and you weaken your impact. Focus your thoughts and you ignite your life. You must be definite in your aim. You must write it down. You must speak it aloud. You must revisit it daily. A purpose not declared is a purpose forgotten, and a forgotten purpose becomes a buried dream. There is no power in uncertainty. There is no strength in vagueness. You cannot climb a staircase that disappears beneath your feet. You must see the top. You must define the peak. You must fix your eyes upon it and refuse to look away. Do not be afraid of being bold. The universe respects boldness. Life bends for the man who will not bow. If your desire is strong enough, if your purpose is written in the language of fire, then you will become unstoppable. Obstacles will not defeat you. Setbacks will not discourage you. The world will make room for the man who insists on his mission, and yes, you will be tested. A definite purpose will demand a definite sacrifice. You will have to say no to distraction, to comfort, to compromise. You will have to walk away from the ordinary to claim the extraordinary. But every sacrifice will be worth it. Every discipline will pay off, because when your life is aligned with purpose, you become powerful beyond measure. When a man lives without purpose, he suffers. His soul grows restless. He becomes bitter, blaming the world for what he never had the courage to pursue. But when a man locks eyes with his calling, when he makes a covenant with his destiny, he is filled with fire. He is no longer bored. He is no longer lost. He is no longer wasting time. He is a man on a mission. A definite purpose does not merely guide you. It defines you. It shapes your habits. It selects your friends. It decides how you spend your hours. It removes confusion, because now everything is measured by one standard. Does this move me closer to my goal? You will begin to feel a new power rising inside of you, a quiet confidence, a burning clarity. Decisions become easier. Distractions become obvious. You are no longer moved by trends, because you are led by truth. You are no longer controlled by circumstance, because you are anchored in purpose. The storms may still come, but they will not shake you. The critics may still speak, but they will not stop you. The delays may still frustrate you, but they will not destroy you, because the man who has a definite purpose is already victorious. His outcome is not a question, it is a conviction. So I challenge you now, not tomorrow, not next year, but now, to decide what you are here to do, to carve your vision into the fabric of your mind, to write it, speak it, believe it, and pursue it like a man possessed. Let no one talk you out of it. Let no fear steal your fire. You are here for a reason. You are here with power. You are here with potential waiting to be unlocked. But it will remain locked until you turn the key of definite purpose. Purpose is the beginning of mastery. Purpose is the foundation of power. Purpose is the voice that says, I will not stop until I have done what I came to do. So rise, decide, declare it, chase it, obsess over it, and do not stop. Do not stop until your purpose becomes your reality. This is how legends are made. This is how greatness is born. And now it begins with you. There comes a time in every man's life when he must decide who holds the reins of his emotions, whether it will be the world around him or the world within him. It is not a mild decision. It is not a quiet one. It is a battle. For the man who cannot master his emotional responses is like a candle in the wind, one moment burning brightly, the next flickering into darkness, snuffed out by the smallest gust of opinion, insult, or disappointment. You must train yourself to rise above emotional triggers. You must become so grounded in purpose, so established in vision, so firm in identity that no fleeting word or passing glance can steal your composure. For every time you allow emotion to seize the throne of your mind, you hand over your power. And every time you hand over your power, you fall from the path of greatness and walk the road of regret. Let me be direct. You will be provoked. You will be challenged. There will be moments when others misunderstand you, oppose you, disrespect you. Life will test your emotional armor. But the man who transcends his triggers walks through those tests like a general walks through smoke and fire. Undaunted, deliberate, victorious. Do not confuse control with suppression. This is not about burying your feelings. This is about owning them. This is about directing them. You are not here to become numb. You are here to become unshakable. The fire still burns within you, but you have harnessed it. You are no longer ruled by the ups and downs of external influence. You are governed by something greater. You are ruled by vision, driven by mission, anchored in purpose. Think of a lion. A lion does not respond to every bark, every shout, every noise in the jungle. It remains still until it chooses to move. That is power. That is discipline. That is the kind of self-mastery that separates kings from wanderers, leaders from reactors, champions from victims. If you respond emotionally to every offense, you are a slave to circumstance. But if you can stand in the heat of provocation and respond with principle, with wisdom, with strength, then you are no longer at the mercy of the world. You are a force in the world. There was a man who was insulted every day at his workplace. He was mocked for his dreams, laughed at for his ambition. Others pushed his buttons hoping to see him break. But he never reacted. He smiled, he worked, he moved with calm and purpose. Years later, that man owned the very company where his critics once laughed. They could not understand how he had risen, but the answer was simple. He had chosen not to be distracted by the noise. He had chosen to rise above, not lash out. He had learned that emotional reactions are expensive, and he refused to pay the price. You must guard your energy like a fortress. You must protect your peace like a treasure. Every time you allow frustration to dictate your behavior, you give your power away. Every time you explode in anger or collapse in sadness or lash out in retaliation, you are robbed, not by others, but by your own lack of self-discipline. And make no mistake, this discipline is built, it is forged. It does not come naturally, it comes by practice, by awareness, by choosing again and again to rise above. When someone provokes you, pause. When someone mocks you, pause. When life frustrates you, pause. And in that pause, choose your response, not your reaction, your response, rooted in purpose, guided by reason, fueled by vision. Repetition builds mastery, and each time you succeed in holding your ground emotionally, you grow stronger. Each time you remain calm in chaos, you train your mind to obey your will. Each time you walk away from drama and step toward destiny, you ascend. And when the day comes, and it will, when nothing outside of you can shake the world inside of you, that is the day you will have become powerful beyond measure. That is the day you will walk into rooms with silent authority. That is the day you will make decisions with clarity, speak with weight, act with certainty. The man who transcends emotional triggers becomes a leader in a world of followers. He becomes a lighthouse in a sea of confusion. He becomes a warrior, not one who fights with fists, but one who conquers with composure. Your emotions are signals, not commands. Your feelings are real, but they are not always right. They are visitors, not kings. Let them come, let them pass, but do not let them rule. You are the gatekeeper. You decide what stays, you decide what moves you, and only what serves your purpose is permitted to remain. So I say to you, be still when others panic. Be calm when others rage. Be focused when others are distracted. The world will test you. Do not give it your power. Rise above. Transcend the noise. Master your emotions and you will master your life. And the man who has mastered his emotions, he cannot be stopped. The world is loud. The world is restless. It screams for your attention, pulls at your focus, and demands your reaction. It bombards you with headlines, fears, opinions, and chaos. But the man who is destined for greatness is not governed by the noise of the world. He is ruled by the calm within himself. You must learn the art of stillness, not weakness, not inaction, but deliberate inner calm. A calm forged not by ease, but by mental mastery. A calm that comes from knowing who you are, why you are here, and where you are going. This stillness is not natural, it is not inherited. It is earned through discipline, awareness, and the refusal to be moved by outer turbulence. When you look at those who have achieved greatness, not for a moment, but for a lifetime, you will find that they were never frantic, never erratic. They moved with certainty. They acted with precision. Even in chaos, they were still. Their world could be on fire, and yet they would not be rushed, not be rattled, not be removed from their mission. They had trained themselves, mind, body, and soul, to remain composed when others lost their footing. This is not just a virtue, it is a necessity. For a man who cannot still his mind in chaos will make decisions rooted in fear, not faith. He will act from emotion, not purpose. He will be thrown off course every time the winds change. But the man who cultivates inner stillness becomes unshakable. He becomes the eye of the storm, calm, centered, immovable. I tell you this, you cannot command your life until you can command your mind. You cannot hold the reins of destiny if you let every wave of doubt, every gust of fear, every flicker of anxiety push you off balance. Life will test your emotional equilibrium. And only the man who has prepared, only the man who has trained himself in stillness will remain standing. This stillness is not apathy, it is not indifference, it is focused power. It is readiness, not reaction. It is listening before speaking. It is breathing before striking. It is thinking before deciding. It is faith in action. You do not need to respond to everything. You do not need to fix every wrong, fight every battle, explain every move. The man who moves in silence is often the one moving with the most intention. His stillness is not passivity, it is patience. It is strength held in reserve. It is the calm before the breakthrough, the silence before the impact. Stillness is a strategy. Stillness is a shield. Stillness is where clarity is born. The most dangerous man is not the one who shouts at the storm. It is the man who walks through it in silence, undistracted, unmoved, undeterred. Because that man is thinking, that man is planning, that man is focused. And while others are losing time reacting to every disruption, he is building, he is advancing, he is creating. You must make your mind a fortress where peace is protected and clarity is king. The moment you allow panic to enter that fortress, you weaken your defenses. And in the world of high achievement, weakness invites failure. But discipline, mental discipline, invites dominion. There was a man I once knew who lost everything. His money, his business, his reputation, and while others rushed to condemn him, while his world was collapsing, he remained calm. He did not curse. He did not panic. He simply said, I will rebuild. And rebuild he did, stronger, wiser, wealthier. Why? Because he had trained his spirit in silence. He had practiced stillness long before the storm arrived. So, when it came, it found a man already anchored. You must become that man. You must cultivate peace, not after chaos, but before it. In your quiet hours, in your daily disciplines, in the way you speak, the way you think, the way you breathe. Create within yourself a space no noise can reach, no criticism can shake, no failure can stain. Guard that space. Feed it with truth. Fill it with vision. Let it become your place of strength, your source of decision, your command center for a life of meaning. Stillness is not something you stumble into, it is something you build. Through prayer, through focus, through self-mastery, and the more you build it, the more you rise above distraction, the more you rise above confusion, the more you rise above the limitations of the common man. And when you rise above those things, you rise into power. The power to see clearly, the power to decide swiftly, the power to act effectively. You become efficient. You become intentional. You become uncommon. And the uncommon man, he does not waste time. He does not waste words. He does not waste energy. He acts from vision, not impulse. He speaks from purpose, not pain. He creates from clarity, not chaos. So now I challenge you, train yourself in stillness. Do not be moved by the noise. Do not be swayed by the storm. Be like the mountain, unmoved by the winds. Be like the ocean that flows but is never frantic. Be like the oak tree that stands rooted in the midst of lightning and rain. Let your soul become still. Let your mind become strong. Let your spirit become silent, sharp, and sovereign. Because the man who masters stillness, that man rules himself. And the man who rules himself, he rules his world. There's a law that governs success, unseen by most, misunderstood by many, but mastered by all who rise to greatness. That law is belief made visible through action. The man who acts as though he cannot be defeated will not be. The world may delay him, the storms may buffet him, the setbacks may try to intimidate him, but they will never destroy him. Why? Because he has decided once and for all that defeat is not an option. Not in his mind, not in his words, not in his walk. You must move through this life with the unshakable confidence of a man who already knows the outcome. not because life makes it easy, but because you have already decided to persist until the outcome bends to your will. This is not arrogance, it is certainty. It is faith fused with decision, and decision fused with unwavering motion. When you act as if you cannot be defeated, something extraordinary happens. Your mind shifts, your heart strengthens, your steps align. You begin to carry yourself differently. You no longer hesitate. You no longer wonder if you're worthy. You no longer entertain failure as a companion. You set your sights, you make your move, and you keep moving until the world conforms to the image you hold in your mind. A man once said to me, "But what if I fail?" And I replied, "You have already failed, because you gave failure a seat at your table. Do not speak its name. Do not bow to its presence. Do not rehearse its story. Replace every whisper of doubt with a roar of decision. Replace every fear with focused action, because action dissolves fear. Motion kills hesitation. When you act with belief, the universe responds with opportunity. You must become deaf to discouragement, blind to distractions, immune to delay. Act as if every door you knock on will open, not because it must, but because you will knock again and again and again until it does. The man who wins is not always the smartest, not always the fastest, not always the most gifted, but always the most resolved. He outlasts failure. He outworks resistance. He outthinks opposition. And he does it all with the attitude of one who has already won in spirit, now only waiting for the world to catch up. There was a young inventor, laughed at, ridiculed, dismissed by experts, his ideas called foolish, his attempts labeled failures, but he acted every day as though success was inevitable. He worked through the night, failed hundreds of times, and never once said, "Maybe this isn't for me." He didn't just believe in the idea, he believed in himself. That young man was Thomas Edison. And because he acted as if defeat had no dominion over him, he brought light to the world. You must do the same. The idea you carry, the dream you see, the vision that wakes you at night, it is not there to tease you. It is there to test you, to challenge your conviction, to separate the talkers from the builders, the wishes from the warriors. And if you act like a man who cannot be stopped, you will find that most things cannot stop you. But hear me clearly, this mindset is not born in comfort. It is born in the furnace of hardship. You must train your mind daily. You must condition your thoughts. You must speak with boldness, walk with decisiveness, and move with a kind of force that lets the world know, I am not here to triumph. I am here to triumph. Act as if the victory is already yours, and you will begin to attract the people, the resources, and the circumstances that match your level of belief. This is the essence of faith. Faith is not sitting still and hoping. Faith is moving forward with absolute certainty in things unseen. It is pressing on when the facts say stop. It is building when there are no bricks. It is digging when there is no shovel. It is moving mountains, one act of belief at a time. You may not always know how. You may not always see the path. But if you walk like a man who is guided, you will be guided. If you speak like a man who is called, you will be called. If you act like a man who is chosen, doors will swing open, opportunities will appear, and obstacles will crumble, not by magic, but by mental law. And when the world looks at you, when they ask, how did he do it? They will not understand that your victory was born long before it was seen. It was born the moment you chose to act as if you could not be defeated. So now I ask you, how will you walk from this moment on? Will you wait for evidence before you act, or will you move as though the victory is already yours? Will you give power to doubt, or will you walk in power? The world belongs to those who move boldly, speak confidently, and act as if defeat is a myth. Decide now. Stand up in your own mind. Declare the outcome before it arrives. Move like a man with destiny in his blood, because the man who acts as if he cannot be defeated, that man becomes unstoppable. And now I leave you with this truth, etched deep into the stone of human greatness. You are not the victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your outcome. The power that lifts men from obscurity to significance, from failure to fortune, from mediocrity to mastery, that power is already within you. You have been told to act as if nothing affects you, not because you are numb, not because you do not feel, but because you have mastered the art of mental control. You have been instructed to choose your response, to govern your attitude, to discipline your focus, because these are the tools of transformation. You have been reminded to stand firm when others fold, to remain calm when others panic, to move forward when others retreat. That is not ordinary. That is greatness in motion. You have been called to believe beyond what you can see, to act beyond what you feel, to persist beyond what others deem possible. Because every man who ever did anything worth remembering, every woman who ever rose above the tide of circumstance, did so by living from within, not reacting from without. So do not wait for the world to approve you. Approve yourself. Do not wait for conditions to be perfect. Move now. Decide now. Take one bold step, then another, and keep walking straight into the life you were born to claim. You have the right to become all that you can imagine. But rights mean nothing without responsibility. You must take hold of that responsibility with both hands, with all your will, with every ounce of your being. No excuses, no hesitation, no surrender. You will fall, yes. You will feel pain, yes. You will be doubted, challenged, criticized, yes. But if you keep moving, if you keep showing up with belief in your heart and purpose in your steps, the world will eventually make room for you, because it always does for the relentless. So rise now. Act as if nothing affects you, because you are focused, because you are driven, because you are destined. Let this not just be a speech you heard, but a declaration you made. From this moment on, let your life echo one message: I cannot be shaken, I will not be stopped, and I will not rest until I rise. Now go forward with fire in your spirit. Go forward with stillness in your soul. Go forward as the one who has already won in his mind. Let nothing sway you. Let nothing disturb you. Let nothing keep you from what is yours. Good luck on your journey, but remember, luck favors the prepared mind. And above all, thank you for choosing to rise. Thank you for believing in the power within you. And thank you for walking the path few dare to take. Now go and build your legacy.